Good morning, fellas. How are you doing today? Um, well, we're we're gonna be studying today the last uh, content, let's say lexical content, and when actually this is pretty much the last piece of content that we're gonna deal with this semester, and then next week is merely a review of the term, right? Um, so this is about alternative medicine, um, which is connected to health issues and and all that sort of stuff. So let's start right now. Interesting, Benjamin. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to hear some of your insights then, some of your points of view regarding alternative medicine. And so here we go. We're gonna watch a video first. Well, I got a couple of videos which are kind of short, and then I'm gonna show you some like images in general, presentation about some topics. And but first, I want to review the last lexical content that we were studying quickly, really quickly. Then we watch the video. Hold on a second. Last time, so I just told you that we were dealing with health issues, um, and for example, the difference between no among the the terms illness, disease, and sickness, and for example, normally the term illness is used by relatives, proxies, patient groups, like third parties in this case, third persons, individuals, patient, organizations, society in general, right? And then sickness is used, the word sickness is used more by health policymakers, which is third parties too, but different from the first ones, employers, health insurers, health organizations, and health legislators. They use sickness, the word, the term. And disease is for different contexts, like for example, researchers, industry, health professionals, health worker unions, and so on, right? Um, they at some point are synonyms, but sometimes they might be different, and the connotation might be different. You know, disease is more technical. Um, illness in this case is more, let's say, um, for individuals normally. I am, I don't know, I got an illness, stuff like that, or I feel sick. Normally, it's more colloquial too, right? Feel sick or sickness, um, but it's more for, as I told you, like third parties. And first person, normally they use, like illness or ill, ill and sick. Um, this is pretty much like the what I'm talking about, illness in this case says individual, I feel ill, or I feel sick. You can also say that. Um, and then, for example, the community uses more the word sickness, like you look sick, or family, yes, you're sick. It's not like you are ill; it's you're sick. Um, and the doctor, as I told you, is using disease more often. You have a disease. Yes, doctor, they're sick. Because the community uses the word sickness. And yes, doctor, I'm sick. Yeah. In this case, you can also say I feel ill or I'm sick. Notice the difference. You say I feel ill, um, I am sick, or sometimes I feel sick, right? But this is more common. I'm sick. Um, what else? I think I don't remember if we checked out this one, but there are some common, in this case, illnesses, but sometimes they might be confused with symptoms. Like spots, for example, are symptoms, right? Toothache can be considered a health issue, maybe because of the muelas cariadas and whatever. Toothache in general. Chickenpox is normally for kids, which is pretty much like the viruela and pestes and everything like that. Sore throat, which is normally a symptom to something else. Sore finger, it's a problem in itself. The measles in this case is which is similar to the chickenpox, but it's another type of peste. Um, Overweight, which is can be considered an issue. Pneumonia, which is a disease basically. Like for example, pneumonia produced by in this case the COVID-19, for example, which is like a stage of the disease. Um, what else? Asthma, it's a condition itself. Backache, it can be considered a symptom to maybe something else, but not always. Stomach ache, a symptom to something else. The flu is, the flu, influenza. AIDS in this case, which is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Cold, regular cold, broken nose, absolutely different. It's not a disease actually, just a health issue. Diabetes is a disease. A broken arm in this case, an issue. Constipation, which can be also a symptom to something else. Sunburn, you know, caused by, like, for example, falling asleep in the beach under the sun at midday, and fever, which is also a symptom to many, many different, diseases, all right, or sicknesses. All right, and um, we got some English idioms that we were studying before, like feel a little off color, I'm sick to death of, to feel under the weather, sick as a parrot, and I am at death's door. All of these are English idioms in this case, phrases that must be learned that way, and that in with that combination of words, and that are not necessarily literal. Actually, they're not literal. Like feeling, for example, bad and showing some symptoms like in the body, it's like to feel a little off color in this case. Sick to death of, it's really tired of something in this case. This is not necessarily related to physical disease. This is pretty much like to be fed up, for example, of something. Um, Feel under the weather is to feel unwell, basically, right? Um, Sick as a parrot, in this case, very angry. It's not about a disease, it's, you know, estar chato de algo, or chata. That's pretty much like the idea. Annoyed or angry. And death's door, it's pretty much like to feel like really, really bad, really bad. To feel that you're dying, right? In this case, a long list of different, terms uh, in alphabetical order. I don't remember if we really checked this list before. Got something interesting here, maybe some terms that you didn't know. Sprain typically is like la torcedura. The sling is el cabestrillo. The neck brace in this case is el cuello. That you normally when you got like an accident in cars and stuff like that, the in this case um, the whiplash, when you got this efecto látigo, mm, and then you wear this neck brace with fractures here. It says you wear slings, uh, cuts, grazes. In this case, are typically. I remember when I was little, I rode a lot my bike, and then I got my body covered on grazes, raspaduras, a bruise, which is normally caused by a hit, right? What else? Splinter in this case is pretty much like a this for example, when you touch a cactus and stuff like that, or nastilla, like coming from wooden objects. Sunburn in this case, I told you about that, like exposing yourself under the sun for the ultraviolet rays and stuff like that. Um, Burns caused by different, types of material. A bite, caused by any type of animal or persons. and and stink, which is pretty much like coming from bees and those kinds of insects. Sting. El aguijón. Okay. What else? Ailments and injuries in this case. The rash, in this case caused by allergies or, in this case, body reactions to allergens, for example. Um, what else? Fever. I already told you about that. Insect bite, chills. The chills. When you feel sick. In this case, a symptom to many. It's normally to fever sometimes. Um, a black eye in this case, which is basically if you get hit by someone or maybe accidentally or on purpose. Headache, stomachache, backache, toothache. High blood pressure, which is something that happens to people like me after you turn 40, or some people got low blood pressure. Be careful with that. Cold, sore throat, sprain, or infection. Okay, an infection normally caused by bacteria, broken bone, cut, bruise, and burn. Yeah. What else? Pretty much the same stuff. Oh, long list of medicine, like aspirins, for example, cold tables, vitamins, cough syrup, cough drops, um, etc., etc. There's a long list of, in this case, of treatments that maybe you can check out the presentation later, because I want to focus on a different thing today. And a lot of well, this is the last slide anyway. Regarding vocabulary, there's a lot of different terms. Some of them are well known, some others are kind of not really well known. But in general, for example, painkillers, typically, ibuprofens and stuff like that, antiseptics, in this case, to clean the area. If you got a cut, for example, this is a typical first aid kit. You got bandages, safety pin, adhesive bandages, ointment, in this case, ungüentos, antiseptic wipe, in this case. What else? Scissors. What else do we have here? we already mentioned those things around here. Yeah, that's pretty much. But you guys, if you got any questions, check out the presentation because it's on campus, you know. And also we got some exercises here regarding a vocabulary. We can do this quiz, for example, which is kind of short, 15 in this case questions, and then we start talking about alternative medicine. You know, it's just a quick review. You can use the chat room if you want to answer question number 1. And for example, what is this? You know, it's an earache, headache, or backache. You know, piece of cake for you guys. So you can answer quickly on in this case using the mic or using the chat room. Catalina dice sí, Jairo dice sí. I agree with that. There you go. Give me a second, just 1 second. I'm going to need to install I need more light. All right. Yeah, look. Number 2, in this case, broken leg, stomach ache, broken arm. Ah, really easy.
Broken leg.
There you go. Thank you, Silken. Broken leg. Jairo dice A2. Tomás dice leg. There you go. Cold, cough, sore throat. Yeah. Tania dice 1. I think it's pretty obvious. So yeah, Tania said cold, and it's right. What else? Cough. Oh yeah. Fever, toothache. Anybody? I know it's easy for you. Cough. There you go. Cough, cough. Excellent. Right. I don't really pneumonia, stomachache, earache. Right. I don't know if this is pretty much like the David Bowie's daughter because of the Ziggy Stardust. In this case, this is a symbol of Ziggy Stardust, but right here and on the forehead. Stupid reference. Anyway, yeah, I got it. It's Jairo says C, which I guess that in this case the lightning is pretty much like um, pointing at the ear in this case. C. Toman is a C. Silken is a C. Yeah, you're right, guys. Earache. But I got it. You know, I got it the first time. But it's kind of a very strange symbology anyway. What else? Fever, wound, cough. This is crystal clear. Jairo A. Fever, Tanya, of course. Backache, toothache, flu. I assume that this is a thermometer.
Flu?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. Via C, Jairo C, everybody says C. Yeah. Sorry. Got the hiccups. Excellent. Cough, headache, earache. This could be like the fever, like a fever, but it's not. Via B, Jairo B. I agree with you guys. Headache, there you go. Next, fever, sore throat, coronavirus. Oh, it's an updated web page in this case. Coronavirus? I don't really know. No. Now with the Delta, in this case, variant, it's like you feel nothing, and then you got pneumonia. It's crazy stuff. Okay, now B, number 2, sore throat. I agree. Completely agree. Yeah, I've been there. Headache, stomachache, backache. Silken B. Tanya B. Tanya, pardon, Tanya 2. Yep, absolutely correct. What else? Cold, toothache, coronavirus. Coronavirus. Cold, toothache. I don't know why I laugh, because it's like first time I seen in an exercise like this, like coronavirus. But it's okay. Cold, toothache, coronavirus. B, basically. Mm-hmm. You're right. Of course. It's a headache. No, the everybody knows. And this is pretty much like the planet Mother Earth. Mother Earth suffering from coronavirus. A. Yep. Okay. Flu, broken arm, wound. Hmm. Um, yeah, broken arm doesn't look like that. I'll say that. Mm-hmm. Silken, C. Pia, C. Mm-hmm. Thomas, C. It's a wound, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Una herida en general. I would say a cut, but it's a wound. Mm. Wound is more general, generic term. Broken leg, broken arm, cut. Un paracetamol y va a la casa. Many doctors say the same thing. No, you just take painkillers, or this ibuprofen, or paracetamol, and that's it. My en agüita de hierbas. That's that's the typical, eh, I don't know. My granny would say that, like, no, tiene que ponerlo en esta agüita, tiene que ponerse, no sé, unas compresas, cosas por el estilo. Always with good intentions. All right, broken arm and coronavirus, pneumonia, medications. Of course. Medications or medicine in general. Hmm? Sí, Tomás. Take your medications in this case. Tómese los remedios. But there is the term in English like home remedy, which is los remedios caseros. Home remedy is a real word in this case, real concept. But the conventional medicine normally is called they're called medications. Like, for example, yeah, the vaccine in this case, the AstraZeneca or CoronaVac, Pfizer, um, etc., etc. Sputnik 5. Good. There you go. Easy peasy for you guys. I knew it. I knew it would be easy for you. So now let's start talking about the new topic in this case, which is um, alternative medicine. We're going to watch a video quickly. and then we're gonna make some. I'm gonna show you some slides and make some comments if you want. Okay, we got 10 minutes basically. So here we go.
If the person you're caring for is struggling with symptoms from a chronic condition like diabetes or arthritis, using alternative medicine may help. In this video, we'll explain what this type of medicine is and explore how it may or may not help you in your caregiving situation. Alternative medicine is a medical treatment that some doctors may consider non-traditional care. It can work well to help manage a chronic condition or its symptoms when used alongside more traditional or conventional Western medicine. Some examples of alternative therapies could include massage therapy, yoga, homeopathy, or acupuncture. Using alternative medicine can have several advantages. In some cases, alternative medicine works just as well as conventional medicine. For example, if the person you're caring for struggles with back pain, getting massage therapy from a registered massage therapist may be just as effective as taking painkillers for relief. Since alternative medicine generally focuses on healing the body, the person you're caring for may feel more overall wellness than with treatments designed to heal one specific part of the body. Some alternative therapies like yoga and meditation have little to no side effects and may also help to lower the side effects that can sometimes come with conventional treatment. Unfortunately, there are also some disadvantages to using alternative medicine as well. Alternative medicines often take time to work and may not be effective against conditions or symptoms that need to be relieved right away. Some alternative medicines are not regulated and can be harmful. Make sure that any natural health products the person you're caring for uses are approved by the Natural and Non-Prescription Health Products Directorate, or NNHPD for short. If a product is approved, there will be a special number on the bottle starting with NPN, or DIN-HM. Certain over-the-counter natural supplements may not be safe when mixed with other medications, so it's important that you and the person you're caring for consult a doctor or pharmacist before starting on any new supplements or herbal remedies. Alternative options can sometimes be more expensive than conventional treatment, and some provinces do not offer coverage for them, so it's a good idea to make sure that the person you're caring for is covered under their health plan. Although it may not work for everyone, finding the right alternative complementary treatment for the person you're caring for could make a big difference in their life. Be sure to visit our Care Channel site for more caregiver support.
All right. You guys got any questions about the video? I think it was, crystal clear that there are sometimes, some advantages and disadvantages coming from alternative medicine, right? And therapies. Um, so let me show you some pictures in this case coming from the presentation. Here we go. Well, this is pretty much the same thing that you watched in the video. Some therapies, like our alternative, in this case treatments, are well considered in the uh, regular scientific world, because they've been proven to be effective. Some others are still under, in this case, a study or research, and some others might be proven like counterproductive. And but there are also many different opinions. Like the idea is to read a lot of papers and have like different perspectives on different treatments, right? And especially coming from when you got these shamanic treatments with drugs, or for example, some treatments which are really invasive. I think that maybe you need to do a little research about that, you know, alternative for treatments. Or maybe you can have some, combined treatment, which can be like even more powerful than regular, therapies and stuff like that. Um, so, well, of course, you need to double check every, in this case, jar with pills and stuff like that. If they come from the area of homeopathy and stuff like that, they need to have a seal. They need to have in this case, some kind of recognition from or an acknowledgement from some maybe a government office or maybe some association, which can be in this case can provide some guarantee. So complementary and alternative medicine is the umbrella term for all of these different practices. Some of them are really old, and traditional from very, very old civilizations or cultures, like acupuncture coming from China, meditation coming from India, and like Ayurvedic medicine is really, really old in India. Mm. Hypnosis, which is normally practiced by psychiatrists, like they're pretty much the only ones who are officially authorized to practice hypnosis. Some psychologists, of course, they know how to do it, but I don't really know if they're authorized to do it. Actually, psychologists, they can't prescribe medicine. It's physicians, like psychiatrists who prescribe medicine, at least officially, guided imagery in this case is pretty much like a practice, which says that you can be healed watching some images. Not necessarily healed, maybe relieved, from sort of maybe mental condition, and you can feel calmed watching certain images like landscapes, which can be relaxing, etc. Um, we got also biofeedback, which is in this case pretty much like going and having contact with the nature. That's also can be in this case can have a positive impact on some people. It depends on the condition, of course. For mental illnesses, mental issues, it could be really good to have this contact with animals, with plants, with certain landscapes. And what else? Relaxation therapy. All of this coming techniques coming from music or this guided meditation. All of the different relaxation therapies, especially to in this case give you a sense of well-being, a wellness, from especially anxiety or many different conditions that or issues that you might be suffering from. And in this case, the CBT is like a practice which is based on you know a it says that the mind pretty much controls the body, and that if your mind is okay, your body is going to alienate with your mind and stuff like that. Maybe I got some here. Um, yeah, this is pretty much the like a figure showing how CBT should work in this case. You change your beliefs, and then and you change your behavior, feelings, and thoughts, and then your body responds to that, right? Um, in short, because it's very long in this case conversation, to talk about that CBT. Also, you got Chinese traditional medicine. What else? Prayer and spirituality, homeopathy, bodywork movement therapy, chiropractic therapy, energy medicine like Reiki, and massage therapies, magnet therapies, and a lot of different types of, in this case, practices. Some of them may be really effective. Some others might be questioned. Why not? And you can see here, like, this is a general, figure explanation about the alternative medicine, world. There are some, energy healing practices, whole medical systems like acupuncture, no, acupressure, yeah, and homeopathy, which is, that they can heal the body in general. Mm. Mind body therapy like yoga and meditation. Energy healing is, for example, healing the chakras, and Reiki and Qigong coming from China. Reiki is Japanese. Chakra in this case is, Indian or Hindu. Mm. Reflexology massage in this case, which is pretty much invasive, but some people like it. Manipulation and body-based practices. Biological-based practices in this case, like herbs and dietary supplements. And this is really old. Using herbs to, in this case, cure or relieve, some symptoms, situations, etc. I always remember, that if you, to avoid, in this case, this uh, situation that you experience when you are in a very high altitude, you need to choose some coca. Some people might die if they don't, in this case, choose some coca, because if you are pretty much sufriendo de tayabunao, you need to you need to choose some coca, because you can have a heart attack, for example, or stuff like that, because of the air pressure. Um, or you lack oxygen, basically. That's the point. Um, so herbs and dietary supplements. What I drink, for example, a lot is chamomile tea, uh, every week, because I suffer from my stomach. My, in this case, um, my system is feels a lot of relief when I drink chamomile, except la manzanilla. It works to me, basically. Or for example, when I feel a lot of anxiety, I just play music, which is like at certain vibrations, and hertz in the night, and then I sleep like a baby. But it works for me. Since that's some of the alternative treatment that I chose and followed and studied a little bit, and it works for me, right? But it doesn't necessarily work for everybody, and so on. This is another type of explanation in this case, like traditional Chinese medicine in this case is TCM. And in that case, for example, you can see this sort of this one. This is healing using, for example, the heat produced by these, in this case, elements. Also, there are some little jars that they use, and then they use, like, put some, in this case, fire, like, with some, produce some combustion with something, with oils or stuff like that, and they put it, like, in your spine to heal some areas of on some part of your body, and that heat, you know uh, supposedly produces healing. But it is using, in this case, uh, the heat. to cure some uh, in this case illnesses. What else? Manipulative body base, yeah, chiropractic, osteopathy, massage, biologically based herbs, herbal products, vitamins and foods, mind body medicine, music, art, dance therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, this is CBT, meditation, prayer, yeah, and energy, qigong, acupuncture, bioelectromagnetic, therapeutic touch, and Reiki. Um, these are pretty much the groups of alternative therapies. Whole medical system, Ayurveda, traditional Chinese, they got a lot of different, sub practices within those whole medical systems. Uh, and it's called whole because they say they can pretty much cure everything. And so this is like a more specific description of some of the practices. You can also find this presentation on uCampus if you want to have a look at it, or you can Google it, like examples of CAM based on type, and then you're going to see this figure in this case, which is basically the same stuff that I've been showing you, but more in detail. The organization is different. And there are some, in this case, illnesses or diseases around. Like, for example, if some people suffer from bipolar disorder, they are recommended to use mind-body interventions in general. For, in this case, incontinence, or for arthritis, the qigong is recommended for some people. For back pains, acupressure or acupuncture. For deafness, faith healing, which is like, I'm not saying that it wouldn't work for people who believe in something, superior, but healing deafness out of faith healing is like, I would say, exceptional. Um, I'm sorry if I lack faith on that, but deafness is sometimes you're born with that condition. Insomnia. Some people believe that it can be cured by Reiki, depression by naturopathy in this case, erectile dysfunction cured by Chinese herbal medicine, ulcers, nutrition ulcers. I think in this case, because I have suffered for many years from this sort of conditions, and sometimes herbal medicine can be really effective in my case. And what else? Or homeopathy for ulcers is, yes. I mean, together with, of course, with more, treatments which can be more regular, like more traditional, coming from regular medicine. Cancer, some people believe that it can be treated by this biologically based therapies. I'm not really sure, but maybe you can prevent. There is a belief that you can prevent cancer based on food diet, and I think it makes sense, right? Of course, there are some types of cancer that are inherited. So in that case, you cannot prevent cancer if you inherit it from an older generation. I mean, nothing to do about it. But you can fight it, of course. You can fight it. PTSD, fibromyalgia. In this case, the recommended hydrotherapy, balneotherapy, like if you go to the beach, for example, and stuff like that. So you can believe in whatever you want, but this is pretty much like in general, or not all the treatments, but they are, well, now in general, right? Now, if you are learning about this and you try to practice, just go ahead, because I think it's a good time, all the knowledge that you obtain, and maybe you can help somebody who's suffering from any sort of issue, and if they can find some relief from you, I think it's good, Um, and what else? Something that okay, this is cognitive-based therapy. I showed you this figure before, and basically it's changing your beliefs. You can change your body. That's the main principle, right? I think it might work for some things, but not for everything. Um, and then disorders that could benefit from cognitive, it says benefit, not cure, right? Maybe so you can get some relief, like relief in this case for anxiety, depression, panic attacks, addictions, eating disorders, anger, and phobias. But you need, in this case, you need a specialist, somebody who really understand of cognitive-based therapy, so that this really may help people, right? Reiki, I got people in the family practicing Reiki for many years. And some people believe that it works, and I've never taken or paid for some Reiki therapy, but if it works for some people, why not? And actually you need to study a lot, like this uh, like these people in my family, they they have studied for years Reiki. It's not an easy stuff. They use like runas, and they need to study a lot of different principles, and the famous chakras, coming from the Hindu culture. That the chakras are, like energy vortexes. I studied this thing before, and they are like not literal, but they are like energetic or imaginary vortexes of energy in your body, like, and they are supposed to, control some different areas of your body. They're not tangible. They're not tangible. They are part of your soul, actually, spiritual, you know, um, nature, right? Um, I don't know if we got time to study this, because we could be talking about this for hours, and it's already 9:44, así que nos pasamos, pero. So if you want to double check the presentation, you just go ahead. Like, maybe we can talk about that the next week. Yeah. Perdón que me pasé mucho de la hora. Yeah. Maybe you got more classes. And well, have a great day. Have a nice weekend, and see you next week. And again, I'm sorry.
Profe, no se preocupe. Estuvo bueno el pasado de hora.
Me pasé 15 minutos. I'm sorry, de verdad. Así que ya, eso. Bye bye, and take
Chao,
care.
profe.
Bye
Que le vaya
bye.
bien.
Bye.
You too.
Take care.
You too.
Goodbye. Bye bye bye.
Bye bye.